few years ago, I did a video called Keeping Airsoft Guns Legal. And the whole concept with that video was that there are certain countries around the world where airsoft guns are either outright banned or have certain restrictions placed on them. And the point that I was trying to make is that that could happen here in this country as well. And I had so many negative comments from these idiotic people about, oh, there's no way that could ever happen. This is pure political BS or whatever. Well, guess what? It's going on now as we speak. In California, they have passed a law that airsoft guns have to have certain markings on them so that they can be identified from actual firearms. In Massachusetts, they're trying to pass an identical bill, which has not passed yet, but they're giving it a full court press. And now in the state that I'm living in Maryland, they have a law where they're trying to say, they're actually going a step further, where airsoft guns have to be entirely painted a fluorescent color so that they can't be mistaken from actual firearms. Now, I know what a lot of your reaction is going to be to that is, what exactly is the problem with painting airsoft guns fluorescent colors? Well, here's the thing. Another reason why I oppose laws like this is because they're generally solutions to a problem that does not exist. We're in an atmosphere now where the media is trying to gin up all this stuff where they're making it feel like there's this epidemic that's going on and all these kids are being injured and killed because they're being mistaken for having actual guns. I'm sure everybody heard about Tamir Rice that happened last year. But you have to understand that those incidents, as horrible as they are very isolated and generally not the rule of what goes on in day-to-day life. There are actual statistics that are out there. This is one done by the Bureau of Justice Statistics where they did a 5-year study, and would you believe that there were only 35 incidents where a police officer used some kind of force based on the belief that an imitation gun was a real gun. We're not even talking about actual shootings or deaths. We're just saying there were 35 incidents where some sort of force was used. Just to put that number in perspective, would you believe that in the same time period there were 72 deaths from playing football? And football is a sport that we all sort of accept, so more people, twice as many people died playing football than were actually killed because their toy gun was mistaken for an actual gun. So when you hear that, you have to ask yourself, why is it this way and why are these people trying to pass these laws? Well, there are folks that are out there that just do not like guns. And they've had such little luck with banning and restricting actual guns that they're now going after whatever they can. So the toy guns are probably the next target that they're going for. So they're now trying to restrict and create other legislation so that it's harder to get the toy guns. And, you know, they're basically working their way back up to actual firearms. So you have to understand that this is not something that's an epidemic. This is something that you're being made to feel like this is some major problem when it just is not. So you're probably asking yourself, what exactly can I do to oppose a law like this? Well, you got to get active. First of all, if you're under 18, there's not a lot that you can do politically, but at least talk to your parents and tell them how you feel about this and see if your parents won't get active on your behalf to start contacting the people that they need to. So what do you do if you're over 18? Well, first of all, you need to consider who you're voting for. If you're one of these people that's out there that votes Democrat because you're a Democrat and your daddy was a Democrat and his daddy was a Democrat and they've all been Democrats since FDR, you are part of the problem. You need to start looking at who your representatives are, what do they believe, and how do they vote, and have people that you elect that reflect your personal beliefs, not just based on whatever party you're into. These people are your representatives, and how they vote is a reflection of how their constituents want them to vote. And if you don't tell them what you think, they're just going to vote however they want to. So you need to communicate with them. So how do you go about that? Well, first of all, you can find out who your representatives are. There are websites for doing that. We're going to have the links to some of that in the description, so you can find out who your delegates are, and then you need to contact them. I would advise you to be very respectful. I know there's a lot of knuckleheads that are out there that are going to try to use 4-letter words or whatever. Don't do that. These are respectable people, and you need to deal with them with a high amount of respect when you communicate with them, and let them know what you think. Now, you can send emails, you can call them, and these people are definitely available to hear your opinion. I've been involved with these things in the past with other legislation where people have changed their opinions and their votes based on only a few letters and a few phone calls, because so few people actually communicate that when they get any kind of communication, they feel like it's, oh my God, there's some kind of groundswell going on here. So get active, get vocal, and start talking to your representatives. So that's the basics on these laws that are pending in the state of Maryland, and you can apply this to your own personal state if you live in Massachusetts or California, because these laws are coming. You need to be ready because they're here, and if you're in another state, they're coming to a state near you. So be prepared and start thinking appropriately and start acting. I know a lot of folks are out there probably going to be offended about this because you're those middle of the road kind of people. But you know, you need to take a stand about something. The problem with being in the middle of the road is you're likely to be run over. So pick a side and start doing something about what you believe in. If you want to get more information on this stuff, you can check out the links that we're going to put in the description, or you can come on down here to the arena. The nice thing about the arena, you don't have to worry about somebody mistaking you for having an actual gun, because this is inside, this is a controlled situation, and we just don't have those kind of problems here. And that's the nice thing about Replay Airsoft, is that we don't just sell you the guns, we provide you with a place where you can actually come and use them in a safe manner and not have any kind of problems. So check us out on the web at replayairsoft.com, and until the next time, don't let the bastards get you down.